Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about the properties of indifference curve. What are the different properties of indifference curve? The first property we can see that an indifference curve slopes downward from left to right. This is one of the property of indifference curve. That means what? The indifference curve slopes downward from left to right. That means it has a negative slope. An indifference curve is having negative slope. Indifference curve moves downward from left to right. That means this is the indifference curve. It's negatively sloped. Okay, and an indifference curve slopes downward from left to right. This follows from the assumptions that if the consumer consuming more of one commodity, then we will have to consume less of the other. Now next we move on to the next property. Next property is that an indifference curve is convex to the origin. Now this follows from the assumptions of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. This convex to the origin is from the assumption of diminishing marginal rate of substitution. So what is this diminishing marginal rate of substitution? It is the rate at which the consumer is willing to give up good B in order to consume more of good A. That as he give up more of good B, then he will able to consume more of good A. Next we move on to the third property. Okay, next property is what? Higher indifference curve gives higher satisfaction. That IC3 will give you more satisfaction than IC2 and IC1. So as the indifference curve moves higher, the satisfaction level will also increase. That means if I mark it as IC4, IC5 and IC6, that means IC6 will give you, that means indifference curve 6, that means this curve will give you higher level of satisfaction than IC1. Then as the indifference curve moves higher, the satisfaction level will also goes higher. Next property of indifference curve. Okay, next property is that two indifference curve will never intersect each other. Now if these two indifference curve intersect each other, what will happen? If the two indifference curve intersect each other, what will happen? The combination of the two goods corresponding to the point of intersection will give you different level of satisfaction. So the indifference curve may lie close to each other, but it will never intersect. Okay, because as we know that indifference curve will give, each point on the indifference curve will give same level of satisfaction, but this point is giving different level of satisfaction, which is here the satisfaction level is different, but we know that therefore the reason is that two indifference curve cannot intersect each other. So today we have discussed only with these properties of indifference curve. There are various properties of indifference curve. We have discussed 4 of the properties of indifference curve, which are very important, and these questions come for the exams every alternative year. So along with the diagram and along with the explanation, you have to write this property of indifference curve. So you can see the video and you can learn from here. You can save it somewhere, you can download it somewhere, so it will be benefit for each and everyone, those who are preparing for the ISC or cbse. So those who haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe it so that you don't miss any important video. Thanks for watching.